welcome back to my channel. No. Okay, come on. Alright, come on. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Kyra. I recorded this reading like 5 times, okay? This one is gonna be kind of like a secret. Let y'all in on a scoop that maybe not everybody tells you before you get your locks. Just some helpful things to keep in mind. These may be a little bit on the con side, but not necessarily cons. All right, so let's get started. All right, so number 1. Hear me and hear me well. You will get lint sometimes. That's literally just the way that it is when it comes to locks. Normal hair, you get lint in your normal hair all the time too, but the only difference is your hair is not, I don't want to say matted, but literally that's what this is. Your hair is matted up, so you know it's easier to get out when you have loose natural hair because you're combing your hair and things like that. With your locks, baby, you will get lint. And I say this because prevention is a lot easier than correction. You can brush your locks now with a very soft bristle brush. If you have baby locks, do not brush some things. I am personally guilty of this. I have sat there and I have picked apart and broken pieces of my lock. So it is bound to happen. And I'm not gonna sit here and say that I've always worn my bonnet and I've always done what I was supposed to do, because I've been very careless with my locks, which is kind of what I wanted because I hate doing my hair, okay? So I wanted a careless life, but I took that to the extreme, okay? So don't do that. Cover your locks up. Get you a bonnet for real, you know, a satin bonnet. Like I said, if you have mature locks, you can even brush them, especially before you wash your hair. Just take a soft bristle brush and run through your lock. Next, I've been doing my locks since I was 5 months locked, and nobody else has done my locks, and I don't palm roll all the way down my locks. So there will be lumps in your locks. Your locks are not going to be perfect cylinders all the way down, okay? You may have some lumps, you may have some bumps. It is okay. And I used to get so upset about it because when my locks were short, the lumps would literally be right here in my head or right here in my head. Like, I don't want that. What the hell? So I used to get very upset about it. But I always used to try to tell myself, you know, like once my locks get longer, it will no longer be a problem. You know, I won't really have to worry about it. Let me see if I can find. Like this one, for example, looks a little crazy. Looks a little crazy, clearly. So, but now that my locks are longer, it literally does not bother me. I'm feeling this little rump, but right now it looks real dumb. Let me tuck this away. So yeah, your locks will have lumps. Now, if you palm roll your locks all the way down, or if you get them professionally done, maybe it'll be different. But I know lumps and bumps are gonna be a thing, okay? But once your hair gets long, you won't even notice them. It'll look fine. It'll add some texture. It'll add some volume. Add a little character. We all need a little character. So next, this one is more so tailored to people with thinner locks, but even thick locks can encounter this problem as well. So if you have pieces of your lock that are really thin, like I had some really thin ends on my locks, you will try to pull them off, or you will pull them off, or you will cut them off sometimes. Some people are very good at leaving them alone, but you will be inclined to rip them off sometimes because it's going to piss you off. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. But I will say, if you do plan on cutting them or whatever, wait till you're locked up, because the last thing that you want is for you to have like a distant end, like a really thin end, and you cut it and then your hair start unraveling because you got baby starter locks. Slow your roll, do your time, and the time will come. If you don't like it, get rid of it then. But you don't want your shit to unravel. And then also, with thinner locks in general, now I have really thick locks. I only have 50 locks in my head. so I can't really speak personally on, you know, the next person's journey that has smaller locks than me. But I know with thick locks, you kind of have a bigger foundation, so to speak, because, you know, your parts are bigger, so your locks are bigger, they're thicker, they're, you know, more full, they're a little bit more sturdy. Now with thinner locks, especially if you're palm rolling and all that, like, it can thin your locks out, to be quite honest. So try your best to especially not let your hair get damaged, because if you have damage and thin locks, you're in trouble. Luckily, I got damaged and thick locks, so I got a little bit more time. Buy some time. Trying to fix this damage shit, okay? Next, this is very, very, very important, especially if you have thick locks. Baby, your hair is gonna take forever to dry. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's gonna take a long ass time, okay? And let me tell y'all, so I just did Bantu knots in my hair last weekend, I believe. Look at these damn curls. Didn't even hold. Damn curls didn't even hold, really. And that's because my hair took so damn long to dry. Took so long to dry. I started my hair late at night. Granted, I understand that. I started late at night, but I didn't cover it up at night. I slept with it out and slept on my stomach. That way it wasn't like being smothered. And then had the nerve to go sit outside all damn day the next day. All morning. Sat outside looking dumb bacon like this. Trying to dry my hair. And then come to find out later that night, when I was so eager to take them out, they weren't even dry. Wouldn't even dry. So 24 hours, hair still wasn't even dry. So that's why these curls did not hold. Okay? So your hair is gonna take a very long time to dry. Now, let's bring it in with this. Since it takes so long for your hair to dry, and that's just what I would say, thick locks, but I'm assuming locks in general, it's gonna take a little bit longer, unless you are, and this is of course with no artificial heat, I drew a blank, no artificial heat, so if you're just letting it air dry. So with that being said, there is a such thing called dread rot, I believe it's called. And what that is pretty much just like if your hair doesn't dry completely, it can mold. So it's a very scary thing. There's been a couple times where I've thought that I've had that, but apparently it is pretty hard to get. And I would say that's why sometimes I've been picking my locks, because I'm like, is that mold? What is that? What is that? And it smells really bad, but I've literally never had a problem with my locks smelling bad. So I don't believe that's what I've had. I think I just had bad cases of lint sometimes. So yeah, be cautious of your hair. It's always good to start your hair early in the day if you can. If you're doing your own hair, of course. I mean, if you're going to get your hair done, I don't know, they probably won't throw you in the dryer unless you're opposed to it. But if you're doing your own hair, it's better to start in the beginning of the day and let it air dry throughout the day. And then definitely before you go smothering your hair at night, covering it up, make sure that it's dry. Make sure that your hair is dry. Now this one is very personal to me because, boy. So, just because you have locks does not mean that you don't need to moisturize your hair. Okay? I'm dealing with the consequences of that. So the main reason why I started my locks was originally because I didn't like doing my hair. I don't like getting my hair done. Like, I just don't, and I have a lot of hair, so it's a lot to deal with. So when I got my locks, I pretty much was like, I don't need to do shit. I don't need to do nothing except for wash it every 4 or 5 weeks and retwist it and worry about it then. I was not moisturizing at all, pretty much. Like, and even now, I suck at moisturizing. Like, I'm still trying to get better, but with me bleaching my locks, which I have done multiple times, and not moisturizing, baby, I'm paying a price. I feel like you can look at my locks and tell that they're pretty dry. You can hear the crunch. Okay. Now they don't look really bad. I don't think anybody else can really tell, but yeah. So You need to moisturize your locks. And then especially if you have thin locks and you don't moisturize, baby, your shit will break off. Probably will break off. Even with thick locks, it's probably gonna break off. So eventually, if you're not doing anything. So moisturize your locks. I do have some videos on good things to use in your hair and the different properties and benefits of using this oil versus this oil. So you can check that out if you want to see what kind of oils you use in your hair or whatever. But yes, you still do need to moisturize your hair. Just because you have locks doesn't mean that you need to not do nothing. Okay. Now this may go without saying, but your hair is literally not gonna lock overnight. It ain't gonna lock overnight. A lot of people, it actually takes at least a year for their hair to lock, or around a year. For me, it took me around a year for it to, I would say, fully lock personally, but I'm not no loctician, so I don't know. But I'll say it took me around a year for it to lock up. This is really important because there's a lot of women that I talk to, especially, that don't have the patience, or they don't, the people are so scared of this ugly stage. What the hell is that? Come on, y'all. Come on. Okay, so in the beginning, yes, you are going to look a little crazy. People are going to ask you what you are doing. People are going to be wondering, what the hell is that bird's nest on your head? When you taking them things out? But I'm telling you, if you do not endure the ugly stage, which I don't even believe in, how the hell are you going to get to the good stage? How are you going to get to this if you don't stick with it? You're just going to take them out and then you're going to want to restart. Now, I said all that, but I'm not trying to pressure nobody into getting locks. And I know that if you're not mentally ready for locks, then it's not going to work out. You're not going to be happy, which I understand. I'm just different. I was all for it. I didn't give not a care in the world. I was like, whatever. I was okay with looking wild, but it will literally pay off. Like, you just have to stick with it for a little bit and then you will be fine. The ugly stage is not even real to me. I'll call it the you may look crazy stage for a little bit, okay? And then, you know, people will tell me like, oh, you started with longer hair, you don't understand. No, I understand. Let me tell you though, once your hair locks up, it grows like that. Your hair is gonna sprout super fast. So once your hair locks up, it's gonna go. It's gonna go. When I started my locks, so my hair was about, shit. Imagine your hair being all the way down here, and then when I locked up, it literally shrank all the way above my shoulders. So it shrinks up a lot. But now, 3.5 years later, it's about mid-back. Mid-back. That's crazy. So, it is worth the wait. It is well worth the wait. There is no such thing as an ugly stage. Your hair, and let me tell you, those changes that your hair goes through when it's locking is exciting. It's very exciting. I know when I hit 5 months, that's when I could really see like the texture change, and my hair was really starting to feel like locks. Like, I was like, damn, like they don't feel like, you know, regular hair no more. Like, it really starting to feel like locks. So it was exciting for me every step of the way. So just embrace it. And if you want to even throw a wig on it, throw a wig on it, okay? I think it looks beautiful naturally out. Anyway, I don't think anybody with locks needs wigs, but I'm not, you know, downplaying anybody that throws wigs over their locks. That is perfectly fine. Whatever, you still got locks underneath, so, I mean, but yeah, throw a wig on it for all that. So, I touched on this briefly, but I'm 3 years in. December, 3.5, over that. December will be my 4 years. Every time I see my uncle, he always asks me, what's that in my head, or when I'm gonna take them things out. Granted, he may be playing, but shut your ass up, Unc. Shut up. So, people are gonna ask you, what are you doing with your head? When you gonna take them twists out? Whatever, I don't know. They're gonna ask you questions. You told them to mind their business and they're not going nowhere. Literally, don't worry about anybody else when you're starting your locs. I remember when I first started, even people that, you know, were supposed to be close friends or whatever was like, is your hair even gonna lock? Bitch, first of all, yes, I'm black. Okay, I may be a little on the pale side, but I am black, yes. And that's another thing. Let me write it down. Let me say that for later. Wait till I get down to that one. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do that one next. Yeah, so anyway, let's just go on to the next one because I don't even remember what I was saying about that one. But how? Tell me how. How you gonna sit here and tell me that your hair won't lock when white people is out here getting locks? How do white people can get locks but you can't? Baby, no. I don't even believe that. I don't believe no black person that says they can't get their hair to lock. Maybe you just need to try another method or go about it a different way, use different products, not use so many products, not touch your hair so much. I don't know. But you need to try something else out because there's literally no way in hell a white person can get some locks but you can't. No way. I don't even believe that. So switch up some things, try it out again, go to another person. I don't know what you need to do, but maybe try a natural route if you haven't tried the natural route. I don't know, but either way, try something else out. But there's no way in hell that Timmy can get locks and you can't get locks, okay? Cody can get locks and you can't get locks. Doubt it. Try it again. Try it again. Now, there's literally no two people in this world with the same set of locks. Literally nobody. Nobody. Nobody has the same set of locks, okay? So why would you compare your locks to somebody else? Your locks are beautiful the way that they are. They're unique to you. They're unique to everybody. Your locks are not gonna look like anybody else's locks in this world. So don't be discouraged if you don't, if your locks don't look like the next person. Now there's things that you can do to, alter the look of your locks if you have an issue with something. For example, the bumps in your locks, the bumps and the lumps. I at one point was thinking about, trying to either find somebody or buy like a crochet needle so I could knit that lump down so it was smooth. So there are things that you can do. You can go to a loctician actually and have them crochet your hair, or I guess you can learn how to do it yourself. I don't know. But there are ways to fix things that you don't like, but just keep in mind that your locks are unique to you and they're beautiful either way. So don't compare your locks to the next person. It's okay to have a lock inspiration or a lock crush or whatever. That's okay, but never beat yourself up because something's going different in your journey. It's literally your own journey. It's a journey. It's a path that you're taking. Okay. Also, this one, speaking of journeys, I have come to realize that a lot of people don't give a flying fuck about the journey at all. Okay? Some people don't care at all. Some people just have locks to have locks. Some people just got dreads to have dreads. Some people they don't care. Not everybody, this is not a personal journey to everybody. For me, for example, when I first started, the original reason why I started my locks was because I just didn't like doing my hair. I was over it. I was like, whatever, I'm sure. So once I started doing research on the locks, that's when I kind of found out, like, look, like, there's a lot more to this. Like, I'm missing a lot here. Like, I was not thinking this deep into it, but it's really, it can be a deep meaning behind it. So even before I started, that's when I got the knowledge and the education, and I was like, okay, this is definitely a journey, and it made me so much more excited, like really excited. But Now, like when I ask people, or like my cousins, for example, I ask them, how many locks do y'all have? They looked at me like, you know how many locks you have? Like, I don't know. I was like, you don't know? Well, I'm gonna count them. And I surely did count them, okay? Surely did. But that just goes to show you locks can literally just be a style for some people, and that's okay. That's a-okay. Not everybody looks super deep into this. Not everybody has that emotional attachment with their locks. It's okay. So don't expect everybody to be as excited as you are. I can vouch for this one. Okay. Next. If your locks are wet and you have thick locks, more than likely, your hair is gonna be heavy. Even if you have like smaller size locks, I'm sure it's probably still heavy when it's wet. When my hair is wet, let me tell y'all, I really be wishing I could weigh it on a scale. Like even right now, I feel the weight on my head. I surely feel it, but it's never unbearable when it's dry. But when it's wet, it's not to say that it's unbearable, but for example, when I'm in the shower, my head is gonna look like this. And that's just because of how heavy it is. It literally, you know, or when it's wet and I pick my hair up and I put it down, my head falls down. My head falls down. We fall down and we get up, okay? But yeah, if your hair may be heavy. If I ever cut my locks or trim my locks, it'll probably be because of how heavy they are, because they are already heavy. Okay. The next one is probably gonna be very random, but I personally dealt with this. So, 2018, I moved in with my friend, right? This is my girl, my bitch. I've been friends with her since 2014. We've been friends for a long time, still friends. Shout out to Kristen. Hey girl. She failed to give me a warning. So she has a husky, right? A husky, a big ass wolf. She had a big ass wolf, okay? That thing sheds like nobody's business. He sheds his ass off, okay? So, fair warning. If you are around a dog that sheds, there will be dog hair, dog fur in your locks. So that is just a fair warning. Just be careful. Cover your hair up if your dog sheds, or if you're around a dog that sheds, because you will have pieces of dog fur and you're sitting here looking at your locks like. Now, I'm gonna keep it real. I lived with her for over a year. I am sure there is probably a Miyoki in here somewhere. That was his name, Miyoki. Okay, but just be very mindful of that. Now, don't look at me like I got a dog walking around on my damn head, because I know I don't. I try my best to always make sure I got them out and pick them out, but you just never know. Okay. So the last one that I seem to have on my list is to be patient and kind of just be willing to let go. Now, this goes hand in hand with the one that I said earlier, but for me, this was so easy because I was okay with letting go and letting my hair do its own thing. I really was. And I was okay with looking crazy. Some people aren't okay with that, but this journey will be a lot easier. I'm telling you, it'll be a lot easier if you learn to just be patient and let go. It'll go by a lot smoother. Work with what you have. Don't be depressed, and just try to work with what you have as best as you can. I know some people pride themselves on their hair, and they love hair, and they love to switch up their hair every 2 weeks. And if that's you, that's okay. But just know that it's easier if you learn to let go during this process, because like I said, this will all pay off in the end. Okay? So just try. It's gonna make it a lot smoother. So I believe that's it for my list. That concludes my secrets that nobody tells you. Like I said, these are not really secrets. It's just like a little heads up on some things. If you have any advice for anybody, you can feel free to drop it in the comments down below. It may help the next person out if I missed anything. Go ahead, like, comment, share. And also hit that subscribe button since you're already here. Okay? Hit it. It takes two to make a thing go right. It takes two to make it right. Alright, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.